Mount Rushmore National Memorial, sometimes referred to as the Shrine of Democracy, is an enormous sculpture carved into the side of the mountains of the Black Hills in South Dakota. Join us today as we visit this popular destination. Mount Rushmore is the famous sculpture of 4 United States presidents in the Black Hills of South Dakota. In fact, it's the #1 tourist destination for South Dakota. I'll cover some history, how this memorial came about, and why you should visit it today. But first, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell icon to get notifications when new videos are uploaded. Carving an enormous sculpture into the side of the mountains was the brainchild of South Dakota historian Dwayne Robinson. His goal was to promote tourism in the region. His original plan was to feature American West heroes like Sacagawea, Red Cloud, Buffalo Bill Cody, and Crazy Horse. Robinson found a sculptor willing to take on the challenge, that being Gutzon Borglum. Borglum believed that the sculpture should have a broader appeal, so he believed in choosing 4 U.S. presidents over American West heroes. Borglum chose 4 presidents to represent the nation's birth, growth, development, and preservation. George Washington, the country's first president, represents the nation's birth. At the end of the Revolutionary War, many people in America and Europe thought George Washington would retain the reins of power to become the leader of the new nation or even king. When told that Washington was going to resign after 2 terms in office, King George III of England said, "If he does that, he'll be the greatest man in the world." Well, Washington did resign. That says something about term limits, doesn't it? Thomas Jefferson, the country's 3rd president, who purchased the Louisiana Territory from France in 1803, which doubled the size of our country. Borglum chose Jefferson to represent our nation's growth. Theodore Roosevelt, the country's 26th president, represents development. At the start of the 20th century, America developed into an economic, political, and social world power under the leadership of Theodore Roosevelt. He was instrumental in the protection of nature. By his authority, he established 150 national forests, 51 bird reserves, 4 national game reserves, 5 national parks, and 18 national monuments. Abraham Lincoln, the country's 16th president. Lincoln held the nation together during its greatest trial, the Civil War. Lincoln believed his most sacred duty was the preservation of the Union. Borglum chose Lincoln to represent the preservation of the United States. 400 workers worked for 14 years to create the colossal 60-foot-high sculpture. Gutzon Borglum's son, Lincoln Borglum, took over operation as Gutzon aged and eventually passed before the completion of the project. Mount Rushmore National Memorial is named after the mountain that the memorial is carved into. The mountain named Rushmore is named after Charles Rushmore, a rugged mountain man who settled in the area. Not. Charles Rushmore was a New York City attorney who was employed to secure the tin mining rights for a group of New York investors. This task required Charles Rushmore to travel to the area in 1885, where he befriended a group of prospectors. When Charles Rushmore asked the name of the mountain, the prospectors said it has no name, but one of them spoke up and said, "Well, name it now," and name it Rushmore Peak, and the name stuck. So there you have it. The memorial is named after the mountain, which is named after a New York lawyer who was acquiring tin mining rights for a bunch of New York investors. Some worthless trivia for you to impress your friends with. The Visitor Center at Mount Rushmore will give you a lot more information on the history and the construction of the memorial. There is no entrance fee, but there is a $10 parking fee. You walk down the Avenue of Flags from the parking garage to the Grand View Terrace. The view from the Grand View Terrace is iconic. If you have another hour, take the Presidential Loop Trail, which is pretty well shaded, which you will appreciate on a hot summer day. Being closer to the monument gives it a different perspective. The trail also goes past the Sculptures Studio, which has additional exhibits, and goes past some historic equipment used in the construction. But if it is disagreeable in your sight to serve the Lord, choose for yourself today whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served, which were beyond the Euphrates River, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. In the American culture today, we serve different kinds of gods. We serve the gods of money, power, or maybe the greatest god, the god of self. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. In a previous video, I featured Badlands National Park. Mount Rushmore is about 85 miles west of the Badlands. It is about 35 miles south of Rapid City, South Dakota, and Interstate 90. You can drive through the Badlands and visit Mount Rushmore all in the same day if you're in a hurry. There are a lot of nice sights to see in the Black Hills of South Dakota, so this can be a vacation destination unto itself. There is Spearfish Canyon with several beautiful waterfalls. Crazy Horse Memorial is a work in progress that you can watch being built. Custer State Park has relaxing lakes and wildlife. Needles Highway has unique rock formations you drive between. Wind Cave National Park has the world's best boxwork formations. And Jewel Cave National Monument has spectacular popcorn formations. I'll have to create additional videos to cover all the sites around Mount Rushmore. Thanks for watching.